All right, Karat Visions back at it with another one. I'm in here with Young Rich, up and coming beat maker slash engineer, but as of right now, he's more focused on his beats. So get at him. You said you about to be in Texas real soon, right?
Yeah, I'm about to be going to Houston. I fly out this Sunday. So
Oh yeah. So if you didn't know, we are on a Marine Corps base right now. Young Rich is about to be former Marine, finally getting out. You know what I'm saying? He about to sign them papers to get out of there. He had to follow my lead. You feel me? Nah, just but nah. How long you stayed in?
it'll take me a little bit past 7. So I re-enlisted early, so I didn't have to do a full 8. So it'll take me a little bit past 7 years.
Why you getting out?
Say there's more opportunity really for money, and then my family. Like I've been to 4 different like places to work, and I'm just tired of moving. I'm ready to settle down, and if I move, I want it to be on my own accord, not be told, hey, you're moving to California, Arizona, or whatever. I just want to
Or so you just kind of like got tired of the lifestyle?
basically not having a voice for yourself. Yeah, it's just they say shut up and color.
Because I know it all too well. All right. So so you just got out. You did 7 years, but and now you're doing beats. But you've been doing beats, right?
Yeah, I've been doing beats for a while. Yeah.
How'd you get into that?
So I remember like when I was a kid, my dad had like subs in his trunk. I always liked the bass, like the way it felt and stuff like that. So certain songs sound different, and I was doing like more research into it. Like I didn't have a phone or anything as a kid, but I got passed down one of those dinosaur Dell laptops that weighs about 10 pounds, and I had this like little DJ app on it or whatever, and I was like messing around with that, and I got inspired to like start making beats. My cousin, uh, he used to rap on his laptop and stuff, so I wanted to make beats, for him starting out or whatever. But I don't think anybody would have wanted to rap on when I first started making, cause nah.
You talking about? Wait, is this the cousin you just telling me about? He was riding around and you with a laptop in the car, right?
Yeah, he would be riding around with a laptop like on the console with the Turtle Beaches and like little Xbox headset. That's what he uses as a mic. He'd be rapping while he's driving on the road, and
What?
yeah, dedication.
Where he at now?
He's in Georgia. He's doing good. I don't think he's rapping much now, but when I just went home about 2 years ago, I visited him on New Year's and played him some of my beats now. So now he's fucking with me. So
Oh, you trying to get back into it?
he's fucking with me now. So
All right, that's what's up. What's up? All right, well, so what's like the most difficult part of making beats?
I'd say even producers now who even made it big, they probably still think about quitting, because you'll hit, it's called beat block, and you have so much confidence in yourself. You're used to playing these instruments all the time, and then one night you just go blank, and then you doubt yourself, like, damn, like I don't know if I could really do this, like. But you end up having to get through it, and sometimes you'll think like, oh, there's so many other like producers that make beats, especially now that TikTok's out. How am I going to get the shot or whatever? But I'd say the biggest challenge is not giving up, because I'm still trying to play guitar. And shit ain't been working out to my own favor, but I don't give it up, because I know one day that I keep trying, I apply myself, and I make time for that. Especially not being in the Marine Corps anymore, I have a lot more time to, sharpen my skills and have more time to do it.
Yeah, because that's what I was asking was like, as somebody who hasn't made it yet, how do you find like that motivation to keep doing it? Because it is like a difficult thing to be like a creative.
Yeah, I'd say set time aside every day, at least, even if it's for 30 minutes to an hour. Every day, practice, but just stay focused. Don't give up on yourself, and always make sure that on like social media you're staying relevant and stuff like that. You're always posting and stuff, because if you make a breakthrough one night and you make the craziest beat people have ever heard, and like a label wants to reach out to you, whatever, if your last Instagram post was 16 weeks ago or whatever, they're gonna be like, he's not really active in this, he's basically just messing around with it. So they might not really mess with you.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So speaking of the breakthrough, like, have you had a moment of clarity where you feel like you made the best beat you ever made, or is that yet to come? What?
I've had that a few times, especially like I started something new. I always make beats alone. I like being alone. I like to get in my own vibe. I like to chill out. But for the first time in a long time, I had a buddy come over, and I made a beat for him while we're sitting right there. And right then was like, oh, that's when I made my best beat. But then a week later, did the same thing with the same artist. Oh, that's like my best beat. The next person. So um, I like to like stay humble. I like to, if anything, I'm more hard on myself because I'll make a beat and everybody's like, oh, it's great. I'll listen to it in the car. And I don't like making like simple beats. Some people tell me like, just make it a little bit more simple, but I want to have some type of like trademark on myself. Like, wow, like he took a lot of time and detail making sure that like the hertz of the 808 hit just right and like stuff didn't get muddy and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're trying to have like your own little signature in there, so everybody knows you, type your style type of
Like
thing.
Beethoven with the organ, like when you hear that organ going, you're like, yeah, that's Beethoven beat. You don't even need the beat tag, like that's
Yeah.
Beethoven.
And so you told me you recently read Rick Ross' book, right? What you get from that?
That's the first book I ever read in my life, front to back. I'm not gonna lie. So for Christmas, my wife bought it for me. Uh, it's called Boss Up by Rick Ross, and basically it teaches you. It's not all about music, but it teaches you like he was living in a car at one point. He went to go do a show in Miami that cost him about like $200 to go out there or whatever. He only made $150 that night. Totaled his vehicle, lost everything. So he was pissed off. Like, damn, like I came out here and lost everything, didn't even make any money out of this, and almost gave up. But he kept grinding. I look at him now, like billionaire. He just had a huge car show with like hundreds of cars at his house and stuff. So from that book is basically teaching you like how to have assets and not liabilities and stuff. And that could be cars, houses, or it could be people that are around you. Like if he's got his own family that if they're not providing to him, he'll cut you off. Like, hey, you don't work for me no more. Like, what do you have to give for me? So
Sometimes the harsh reality it got to be like that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to check that book out because Rick Ross. I ain't really a fan of his music, but he has been living that boss persona for a long time, so he know what he's talking about. So, how long you been making beats?
I remember I was a kid. I think I was in eighth grade when I got that laptop. Like I told you, that dinosaur Dell laptop weighs about 10 pounds. I got this like free DJ maker software or whatever, but it started at like mixing like actual songs together and stuff like that. But then I was like, I want to get into like making the beats. So I Googled free beat making software or whatever, which is now called a DAW, a digital audio workstation. But this thing called LMMS came up. So if you're just starting out to make beats or whatever, you don't really want to commit financially or you can't commit financially, just get you a laptop, download LMMS, and get on YouTube. Spend time on YouTube learning how to configure like the system and stuff. And then once you decide this is what I'd like to do, I'm getting better at it, then I would recommend FL Studio, but you got a bunch of different other options too. It just depends on if you're making beats and you already have artists in mind, you want to use the same interface that they use as well, so it's easy to combine those together.
So, like, do you have like a best moment, like that you felt like you maybe somebody bought a beat from you or something, you just felt like your highest?
Yeah, I would say I was going home on leave. I flew from here, Honolulu, to it was San Francisco. I had an 8 hour layover, so they got these little cubicles where people like do their like work business stuff. So I set my laptop up, I opened it up, had my little MIDI keyboard, and I started making beats. And somebody came up and tapped my shoulder. I thought it was my wife, and I turned around. There was this dude standing behind me. He's like, "Hey, you making beats?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Let me hear it." And he puts it on. He starts freestyling to it, middle of the airport. So I'm just thinking this is some random guy or whatever. I'm like, "Hey, let me get your info. We'll work together, stuff like that." Well, what came from after that was he was like, "Yo, your beats are dope." He's from Houston, Texas as well, and he was flying. I think he was going to uh, LA or something for some after party. They just dropped a huge album or whatever, and he was showing me like his Apple Music stuff like that. Like he was big time in Houston, like $100,000 shows, like easily. Um, and then there was a guy sitting next to us, older white guy, and he stood up and he's like, "Sorry to interrupt y'all. Like, I overheard y'all talking about like y'all make music, like you rap and you make beats." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And he's just like, "Oh, awesome. My name is I don't want to say his name, but shook my hand or whatever, gave me his card, showed me his Instagram, and his son makes beats for Jaden Smith. So then he gave his son my information or whatever to reach out to him. So that was pretty cool. But OD, the artist that came like shook my hand and stuff. We were gonna start working together, but unfortunately, he was killed in Houston. So that's another sad part. Like that happens a lot to a lot of artists, even underground artists. Like you don't have to be big time. You just gotta be careful.
Have you like major like legitimate business yet?
No, I would like to whenever I have more time. So like now here, I normally schedule out my time where I'm like Friday night, Saturday night. I'm gonna be in the studio, or whatever. Sometimes Friday morning, we're at work at 4:30 in the morning. I still make it upstairs in the studio, but it also affects the type of beat that you're making, especially when I'm sleepy. I'm not in the mood to make like any bangers or anything, but I'll make like some R&B type stuff when I'm sleepy. So
Yeah, I feel that. But I'm just saying, like, you gotta go ahead and get that LLC going, so you can for tax purposes and all that, so people can reach out to you too. How people find you?
I got Instagram, so I just deleted my Facebook recently, so I stay more focused. So my Instagram, I ain't got that many followers, but it's Griptown, GRIP Town _ beats. So now I'm gonna focus all my time to my Instagram. It's like the only people I follow is like stuff that benefits me, like musically. Like if it's music related, I'm following it. If it's got tips to work on it and stuff like that, so I'm trying to get that going. That way, I have less distractions and stuff like that.
Yeah, you heard it. So if y'all need a beat in the Texas area or even wherever you at, reach out. Griptown what Productions.
Yeah, Griptown Productions.